Okay, so in our last video, we talked about using the little crisscross method to get a common denominator. That will still work here, but there's extra work you would be doing if you did that because of the fact that there's a trinomial in the denominator. So what we're going to do is if we see that, we're going to change the way we do our steps to eliminate extra work for ourselves. The first thing you want to do is if you ever see something that's factorable, you want to factor it. All right, so I'm looking at my denominator here, and I know that I could use the x method to simplify this. So I need to find numbers to make negative 12 and 11. I get my magic numbers. Now I'm going to teach, today I'm going to show you how to factor the long way by using a shortcut. So you know you're technically not allowed to just write x minus 1 and x plus 12 because there's a 4 out front. So to remedy that, we're going to underline both of these and write the 4. So in other words, we're dividing by that 4. And the rule is if you can divide, if you can do 1 divided by 4, great. If not, then you're going to take this 4 and you're going to slide it right up here in front of this x. All right, and then over here, 12 does divide by 4, nice and pretty for us, so that one is done. And there you have it. So this technique is known as slide and divide, is what some math teachers call it. I don't typically teach this technique when my students are starting out unless they're really struggling with the other way of doing the problem. So some of you may have already been doing this and some of you may be new to it. But because there's so much factoring in this chapter, in this section, I feel like it's worth sharing with you the little shortcut to do it. You just can't forget to do this whole dividing by 4 part, because if you forget that, then you're not going to get any of it. So once you factor it, you're going to copy your problem, but you're going to switch out your trinomial for its factored form. Now, if you notice, look at your two denominators. They already have something in common. They both have a 4x minus 1. So instead of multiplying both sides by everything in the bottom, we only have to use a portion of what's in one of the bottoms. So this is where we kind of play a matching game. All right, we're going to try to get our denominators to match up. So you can see that they both have a 4x minus 1 in common, but they don't both have an x plus 3. So we need to fix that. We need to give the guy on the left an x plus 3. Now we have the same stuff in both denominators, and order doesn't matter as long as the parentheses are the same. And if you do it to the bottom, you have to do it to the top. We can't forget about that rule. Now that I've written my x plus 3's, I'm going to go ahead and everything that we do is going to be the same that we've been doing. We're distributing and we're combining our like terms. And we're just copying our denominator right to the bottom. We don't actually want to multiply anything out on the bottom. All right, so I condense a little bit up top and I get 12x minus 3 over 4x minus 1 and x plus 3. And now I have it all consolidated. Now the last step of any fraction problem is to make sure it's reduced. In order to cross things out, you have to factor. So the bottom's factored, but the top is not. So if I use the GCF method for the top, I see that I can actually cross out these 4x minus 1's, and now I have my answer. So it's a little more work involved than times and divide. Multiplying and dividing, you just gotta get everything into parentheses and cross stuff out. This one, you have to consolidate it to one fraction, then you can cross things out after you get parentheses. So that's what we're practicing here. All right, now number 2 is a different kind of scenario. So even though this is not a trinomial, it is special. It's factorable. So we have ourselves a difference of squares. So I'm going to use my difference of squares technique and make this x minus 2 x plus 2. And when I do that, you see that both of these already have a minus 2 in common. It's just this guy on the right, he needs an x plus 2 in order for my denominators to match. Now when you go to distribute, again, be careful, it's not 1, it's like negative 1. So we distribute negative 1 into the parentheses, and we combine our like terms, and that's our answer. Now, number 3, both of these denominators are factorable, so we want to factor them and see what they got in common. I can do the GCF method on the bottom, and I can use x method for the other bottom. And you can see they have a y minus 9 in common. So to get these to match up, the guy on the left needs a +1, and the guy on the right needs a y. Then we're going to do a little bit of distribute and combine like terms. We'll get 3y plus 3 plus 2y and clean it up a little bit, and that's your answer. Since the top doesn't factor, I can't do any crossing out, so no simplifying. All right, same thing with our next problem. 4x squared minus 25 needs to jump out at us. That is a difference of squares, so we're going to factor that first. Because when I do that, I can see, oh, they both have the -5 part. It's just this fraction needs the 2x plus 5 part. So that's going to be less work for you. You only have to change one fraction instead of both. We're going to distribute our 1. We're going to combine our like terms. And we're going to end up with 7x and 5 on top. And the bottom just stays the same. All right, so the next one is a little bit more work involved, but the same idea. So I can definitely use X method for both of these boxes. So box 1, I need to make -8 and 7. So I get those mystery numbers. And if I was allowed to cheat, I would write x minus 1x plus 8. But because there's a 2 up front, I cannot cheat. So we need to divide both of these by that 2. And if it doesn't divide, we're going to slide. So it's 2x minus 1, and it's x plus 4. And box 1 is done. Box 2, I need to make 8 and -9. Get my mystery numbers, set up my parentheses. I am technically not allowed to cheat, so we're going to divide by that 2. We're going to slide them up. We're going to divide this one. And box 2 is done. So then I want to go ahead and substitute my parentheses for my boxes. And we're going to play a matching game. So both of these guys have a 2x minus 1. That's good. But if you notice, the fraction on the left has a +4, and the one on the right does not. And the one on the right has a -4, but the one on the left does not. So we're going to have to manipulate both fractions here. This one needs the -4, and this one needs the +4. So we do a little bit of distributive property, and then we're going to combine our like terms. And we would normally try the X method for the top, but there's nothing that's going to make 8 -2, so we are done.